everyone. My name is Crystal Patrick. I'm a real estate agent here in Maryland with Cast Realty, and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to break down something very important that all home buyers should be aware of when they start the process of purchasing a home. This is the upfront cost that you will have to pay, real upfront out-of-pocket expenses that you have to pay. It is not part of any assistance that you may be eligible for your down payment and closing cost assistance. These are charges and expenses that you will have to pay out of pocket. So you want to make sure that you are prepared financially to start the process and get all of these different costs covered. So let's get right into it. The first big upfront cost is the earnest money deposit. So this earnest money deposit is usually 1 to 3% of the sales price of the property. This is a deposit that you pay as soon as your offer for a property is accepted, and it shows the seller that you are in fact serious about purchasing this home. Now, this 1 to 3% of the purchase price could actually be higher depending on how competitive the market is, or it could be lower. So it all depends on the agreement between you and the seller. Now, don't worry, this money just doesn't disappear into thin air. This is held in an escrow account that when you make it to closing, it is either applied to your down payment or your closing costs. So the second upfront cost that you, the buyer, need to plan for is the home inspection. When you see a property, you put in an offer, your offer was accepted, you put that earnest money deposit in. Now it's time for you to inspect the property to ensure it actually meets your standards, to ensure you know what's going on with the house, to ensure you are aware of all the good, the bad, and the ugly of this particular property. This cost is paid directly to the inspection company that you choose. And in Maryland, depending on the size and the location of the property, it could be anywhere between $300 to $750, even more. So that's just an estimate so you can have an idea of how much money you will have to pay for a home inspection along with the earnest money deposit. But wait, there's more. So depending on what you want, this is all optional. You can choose to do additional specialized inspections on your property, on that particular property. So these additional specialized inspections do come with additional cost, and this is all based on your preference. Do you actually want to do these things? Is it recommended that you do? So keep in mind of these additional inspections. And some of these inspections can be termite inspections, mold inspections, HVAC unit inspection to make sure that is working and functional and optimal as it should be. And these are just to name a few of the additional inspections that you might want to do or you might choose not to. So just to give you like a heads up on it. We're not done yet. So there's another upfront cost that you will have to pay out of pocket, and this is the appraisal fee. So the lender who's going to lend you this huge amount of money to purchase this property, they want to come and inspect the house. They want to ensure, number one, that the house exists. They want to see the value of the property. They're going to send an appraiser to come and appraise this property, to inspect it, to ensure that this property is not being sold for more than what other properties are being sold for in this particular community or area. And in Maryland, an appraisal fee can run you anywhere between $500 to $700. Again, it depends on the lender, the size of the property, the location of the property. And this is just an estimate so you can have an idea of how much money you will need to have readily available. So think about the earnest money, the inspection costs, the appraisal fee. Add those up so that you can have an idea of how much you need to have when you start the home buying process. So those are the top 3 upfront costs that you as a buyer have to be aware of, have to plan for. Now, one thing that I want you to keep in mind that's very important, okay, is be certain that this property that you are putting all of this money into upfront is what you want, because these costs are non-refundable. Okay, so be very certain, talk to your realtor, make sure this is the property that you want because these costs is non-refundable and this is a lot of money to just be throwing away if you're not too certain. Now, there is other optional costs, right, that you will have to pay upfront if you decide that these are what you want to do. Now, one of the optional costs, along with the inspections that we spoke about earlier, is to get a survey on the property. Some buyers may choose to have a survey done on the property to determine the boundaries of that property, to determine where your property starts and where it ends. And again, depending on the property's location and size and the surveyor that you use, the price could be anywhere between $400 to $700. That's an estimate, could be more, could be less, but it is an estimate so you have an idea. So let's say, for example, you are interested in a single family property where the property boundaries are not readily available. You really want to know where your property will end and where it starts because you might be interested in building a fence once you do buy the property. You can hire a surveyor who will come out and provide the information for you as to where your property boundaries are. So remember, these are separate costs and upfront money that you will need to pay out of pocket. So if you're planning to buy soon and you want some help in understanding the full process in the home buying journey, definitely reach out to me. I am available to you. I do offer free consultations. You can visit me at marilynkeys.com to schedule your free consultations where I walk you through the step-by-step process in buying a home. I look forward to hearing from you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with anyone you know who will benefit from this content. I appreciate you for watching and stay tuned for more. Bye.